I am Amber Irwin and my business partner, Caitlin McDonald, and we
Yes.
are Network. And welcome to the Socially Savvy webinar.
So as Amber mentioned, I'm Caitlin McDonald. Amber and I have been working together for just over 10 years now. She told somebody on a call that we had yesterday that we've been together longer than we've been together with our husbands. So we have a life partnership of working together, and we come from different backgrounds. So my background is math and anthropology with some finance in there. And so my focus really is on sort of the ads and data side. What are people doing when they get to your website? How can we best position your ads? Whereas Amber takes all of the creative mess that exists in people's minds and helps them create really powerful social media strategies and figuring out, what topics to talk about, what imagery to do. So Amber, I'll let you introduce yourself as well.
Yes, thank you, Caitlin. So I work really on the social media side of things, really understanding our clients and their voice. So if we're managing the social media or if we're helping them create a social media strategy, that they understand clearly what does that mean. And so I work really on that customer relationship side of things. And so today we're going to talk about the overall digital marketing strategy. And so Caitlin, explain to them what we call a roadmap to digital marketing is.
Yeah, so this is really the roadmap that we follow for our clients. And so during this webinar, we're going to be bringing you through kind of a brief overview of the different stops on the roadmap. So really the first part is understanding your goals, understanding your target market. Then it's building and creating information that's going to resonate with them. Moving this along, it's continuing with educating and then moving into promoting your business and managing it. So for all of our clients, this is actually the process that we follow, where, we need to make sure that we are checking all of these boxes in order to have that robust marketing strategy. And so as you're looking at this, there's a lot that goes into it, and our goal is really to take it and then simplify it. So we'll be saying this at the end, but if you do have questions specifically about your own business, we're always more than happy to dive in and talk about that on a one-to-one basis.
Awesome.
So Amber, you want to start off at the first step?
Yes. So where we want to start is, it's crazy to think that it's already June and we're halfway through 2020. So it's actually a perfect time to take a minute to reflect on your social media footprint. And this really means, like, what struggles, what have your struggles on social media been? Or what have your social media struggles been? So where, are you having issues with reaching your target market? Are you not getting engagement? Do you not know where you should be spending your time on what platform? What goals have you set for yourself with your social media strategy? So have you taken time to set those goals? What does that social media strategy look like? What social media platforms are you currently using, and which ones would you like to start using? This is a big thing. A lot of our clients that we've worked with feel that they need to be on all of the social media platforms. I have to be on Twitter and Pinterest and LinkedIn and Facebook and Instagram, and you name it, you got to be on it. But that's not our philosophy. You need to really figure out where is your audience at and which ones do you feel comfortable with. Because if you don't feel comfortable using Twitter, but you have it, your audience, if they find you on there and you don't have anything, you haven't been consistent with it, it looks poor on your business. So if there is a platform maybe like Instagram that you really want to start using and you haven't yet, jot that down. And then we go into target market. And this is something I love working with our clients on, as far as have you clearly defined your target market? What does that look like? Because a lot of times clients will say, oh, I love everyone. I work with everyone. No, that is the wrong answer. You really want to make sure, do you know who they are? Do you know where to find them? Do your core values and theirs align? And are you engaging with them? And as a business owner, we all need to make money, we all need to pay bills, but you have those favorite clients. And I know we shouldn't have favorites, but we all have them. So what are those clients or patients that you've worked with that you love working with? Maybe they pay on time. Maybe they're strong in their communication. They're loyal. What are those core values that they have that's why you like working with them? And I think that this is, a really important piece to make sure that you take the time and identify. If you are a local business, maybe it's more of looking at, okay, people within a 25-mile radius, that if you have, maybe a boutique or something that's a higher end, okay, well, you need to attract those customers that meet that ideal clientele.
And one other thing to add here is that you can have multiple target markets. So when we're talking about target markets with our clients, especially as we move kind of through that roadmap, is every piece of content that you put out should be written and geared towards one individual. And so taking Des, for example, with baking, cakes, you could have a specific promotion and specific social media posts, specific blog posts and videos that are all geared towards the mom with a preschooler who is having a preschool, birthday party. That's going to be very different than somebody who needs a cake for, their great grandmother who somehow is still kicking. So, and so you just want to have a very specific target market for each of the promotions and each of the posts that you put together. So we recommend putting, the time together to start off with a list that's, people within 25 miles who's between this age and this age, and then dive into their life story. What specifically, are they thinking about right now? What are their challenges? What are their goals? What are their fears? And really try and dive into that one person's mindset and make a list of, a few of those single individuals.
Yep. And one great example is actually the American Diabetes Association. So I love their social media strategy. And the reason why is they have a wide range of clients, from kids that have diabetes to adults dealing with type 1, type 2, prevention. So they really do a great job on creating their content around, like Caitlin said, that one niche. So it may be talking to parents on one topic. It may be talking to people 65 and older that are dealing with diabetes and how to really monitor your diet. So each post, each blog, each video has a thought process for who that target market is. What is that message? So that's why it's so important to really look at who is your target market. And then going into setting goals for social media. And again, some of this may seem, I don't need to do this. Social media is easy. I got this. But you will find that if you don't have a clear target market, you don't have clear goals, that you're going to be running all over the place with your social media and you're not going to see that return. So we've all heard of using SMART goals with other business planning and personal development. Same rules apply with your social media and digital marketing. Be specific. Your goals should be clear, simple, and defined. They should be measurable. So if you say, I want to reach 2,000 likes on my Facebook page, how are you going to monitor that? Make sure that you have those tools set up. If you say, I want to have 30 new subscribers to my email list, what system are you using to be able to monitor that? And make sure they're achievable. A lot of times people say, well, I want to get 50 leads per month. Okay, well, if you are a contractor or a realtor, that may not be achievable, because your target's going to be very niche on, you're not going to have 50 people buying a house in a month. If you do, that is awesome. But make sure that those goals are achievable. and make sure they're realistic. So rather than saying, I want to get, 50 leads per month, maybe saying, okay, I really want to focus on 10 leads per month, building those relationships, growing my Facebook page from 146 likes to 1,000 likes in the next 6 months, which then goes into time sensitive, making sure that every goal needs a time frame, whether it's 6 months. You could do quarterly goals. We usually try to do quarterly goals, 6-month goals, and a year goal, and each goal is working in that time frame. So in 3 months we want to achieve this, and this. 6 months we want to do this. So really making sure that you are clear on those goals. Now let's kind of dive into what social media can do for your business. And social media is always changing. We were just telling Liz before the webinar started, with Facebook, it's a love-hate relationship. So sometimes we love it and it does great, and other times we're like, oh my gosh. But there's more to just social media. You have to think of all of the platforms, and social media is really great for brand awareness. So building a good experience for your audience, making sure that they can find you online, and increasing that engagement. So utilizing Facebook, LinkedIn, Instagram, Twitter to increase that engagement depending on what platforms you're using and where your audience is at. Creating those conversations. This is really where these larger businesses have excelled in social media, is because they've engaged in these conversations. So if you are utilizing social media, make sure you're monitoring it. If someone comments or sends you a direct message, you have to make sure that you respond in a reasonable time so you can keep that loyalty of your audience. Keeping that brand authenticity, increasing your loyalty with your audience. So these are just kind of those brand awareness things that social media does for your business. On the other side, it is a great way to grow your business with leads. So you're actually going to see, that return on investment, that ROI. So what is that ROI mean to you? What does that look like? So are you running ads? Are you looking for social engagement? Again, going back to those SMART goals, leads can be email signups, new clients, new likes, engaging on social platforms, and traffic to your website. If you are tracking traffic to your website, which we all should be, you can utilize a tool like Google Analytics that will let you know which social media sources people are coming to from your website. So this is just a few areas that social media can really help your business. And then again, just the basic social media. I put Pinterest in here, but Pinterest really is a visual search engine. So it's just like Google, but it's all images. So I usually, we really talk to our clients about Pinterest not being a social media platform, but really being a search engine. But a lot of people still think of it as social media. So I put it in there, so it's on there. And then, so going into our content strategy, this is where I love really helping clients with the brand's voice. So again, looking at your company's core values. What is important to you as a business owner? And what are your top 5 core values? So ours, communication is really important for us. Loyalty, being transparent, those are just a few of our company core values that we work with every single client on. When we are hiring people, when we are having putting our posts up online, communication is key for us. So what are those core values, and how can you tie those into your content strategy? And then what's important to you as a business? A lot of small business owners will say, I want to keep my personal life and my business life separate, but you are who you are. You are one person. And I think it's really important to be able to share that story. And how can you humanize your brand? Who is the woman or the man or the team, the staff behind that business name? and what makes your brand or business different, and how can you connect with your audience on a deeper level. And I think that this is something that a lot of businesses struggle with, is how do we deepen those connections with our audience? How do we get those conversations going? How do we kind of cross that line of being vulnerable and putting ourselves out there? And so this is really important, to jot down your ideas and figuring out how you can tie your stories into your social media strategy. Because every good business and brand has a good story behind it. And I think that the more people are willing to share their story, the better it's gonna be received. And I think that their audience will resonate with you on a deeper level. Okay, so this is a piece that Liz wanted us to talk about. I think this is an important piece of what goes into a content strategy. What do we talk about? And I think that, we get asked this question a lot. Like, how do you know what to post? How do you know what's going to work, what's not going to work? And there's no magic answer of, if you put a blog post up on Tuesday at 11 a.m., you're going to have 1 million views. It doesn't work like that, because every business is different. What Tanya may put up on a Tuesday and Des may put up on a Wednesday, they're going to be completely different things. But the engagement, one can have 5 likes, one can have 500 likes. So it really varies on your business. And so here's just a few things. Blog posts, products, videos are huge. Company personalities, curated content, gifts, events. Obviously, that's kind of been cut out with COVID. But if you are networking or you do a lot of local events, those are great things to share. Original photos, testimonials, FAQs, content upgrades, podcasts, company milestones, inspirational quotes, fan content, infographics. The list goes on. You guys can see we have 20 different simple topics that you can talk about and give ideas. This is one of the things that we always like to look at, is what are the national observance days or the national hashtag days that are going on each month, and being able to pick from those lists of what fits in with your brand and your strategy. So you have all of this content that you want to post, all these ideas, and you know who your target markets are. Okay, this is what they're searching for. This is what they're into. Then it's figuring out, how do we organize this? And with social media, consistency is king, because if you're not consistent, it will really hurt your online presence. So we need to compile all of these topics that you want to talk about into a content calendar. And we will give out the link that we use for a content calendar. I'm very visual and colorful. So to me, looking at this, I know on Monday, I need to create an image with, maybe it's a Monday motivational image. Maybe it's talking about a service that we have, but something visual that has our logo on it, but it still resonates with our audience. And then on Tuesday, we're going to be putting up a blog post that talks about Facebook tips with a video. So this helps organize and helps you stay consistent with your social media strategy. So this is just one way that we have a whole blog post on different types of content calendars. So there's not a right or a wrong way to do a content calendar, but really to figure out what works best for you. So something like this, where I can visually see, okay, here's the content I need to write for the next month. Here's what we're going to be talking about. Here's what blog posts we need to do. These are the quotes we want to use, and being able to organize it in what we use at Google Sheets, so then our whole team can see it. Usually on the bottom, we'll have a tab that would say resources, blog topics, so I can plan, okay, this blog this blog that is going up on Tuesday, the 23rd, is all about this. The blog that's going up on the 28th is about this. So it helps you stay organized.
Now, a couple of things about this content calendar specifically that I do want to point out. As you can see, the top layer here is Facebook and LinkedIn, and then the bottom one's Instagram. So typically what we do is we don't post the same thing on Facebook and Instagram on the same day. And one of the reasons why is because there is a lot of overlap in those audiences. So we don't want somebody to view your profile on Instagram and then hop over and see the same post on the Facebook news feed. And so by varying it, so maybe the blog post is posted on Monday on Instagram and then Tuesday on Facebook, allows us to reuse posts and not have them reach the same audience on the same day. So I just wanted to post or to point that out. And then another thing to make creating this content a little bit easier is through repurposing content. So for a blog post, you can create images that have text over them in the blog post that maybe pull out one or two tips or, you know, quotes that you want to make sure get shared. Then you can also quickly do a video, just utilizing Zoom, for example, and recording it and then uploading it to YouTube. And typically when we do the videos, it's right after we finish writing the blog post. We'll sit down, we'll do the video, and then you can utilize that video not only in the blog, but it will also be posted and indexed on YouTube, and those often show up in search results. And then you can use that video on social media as well. So it really helps to provide a lot of diverse content. In that example, I said write the blog first. You could also start with the video if you like to talk and you don't mind doing the video without a script. We have plenty of clients where we have them do a video, then we'll utilize a transcription service and we'll actually get the content from the video. And then from there, you share the content through social media and your blog, as well as uploading the video to YouTube.
Yep. And with the reason why we have this broken up, and really you can do Facebook, whichever platforms you're using, you can have a strategy for each of those, because on Facebook and Instagram, I think it's important to share that brand personality, you know, share your kids and your dogs and your family. And LinkedIn, even though people say it's just business, I'm seeing a lot more businesses share that, humanizing that brand and sharing that personal information. So I think it's important that you have that personal brand along all platforms. The one thing to remember with Facebook and LinkedIn and Instagram, Facebook and LinkedIn, you can share curated content, which means you can share an article from another source or your blog and have a link in the content. With Instagram, there's no links in the content. If you put that link in there, it's dead. You can't click on it. The only link that you have on your Instagram account is the link in your bio. So your Instagram posts are going to be a little bit different than your Facebook and LinkedIn because of you're not sharing articles from an outside source. What you could do is go to that, you know, let's say you're sharing an article from HGTV. On Facebook, you can just go to their Facebook page and click share and share to yours. And then people that are liking your page can click on it and get to the article. With Instagram, it doesn't work that way. You can go to their Instagram account, find an image that you like, or hopefully they put that article on their Instagram account, and then it says link in bio. So you're sharing their Instagram post instead of the article. So you have to think of that as well when you're thinking of your content for Facebook and LinkedIn compared to Instagram. And then now you have your content calendar, you know your target market. Now, how in the heck are you going to have the time to post every day and be consistent? You don't have to post 7 days a week. Now, if you want to, you're more than welcome to, but pick that strategy. So set a plan for posting every day, 4 times, 3 times, 2 times a week. Start off slow and grow with it. So we usually say, you know, pick 3 days a week and trade off. So one week it's Monday, Wednesday, Friday. The next week is Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday. Take, whatever that schedule is and work on that and do different times. So you can see, okay, maybe Monday mornings before 11 a.m. is really a great time for you to post. You're getting a lot of engagement. Maybe posting at, 7 p.m. is even better if your target market is, maybe they're moms, it's after dinner, they're sitting down for the day, or even maybe a little bit later. On Instagram, there's been studies that have shown from like 10 p.m. to 2 a.m. is a really good window with Instagram, which is crazy. I'm like, go to bed, people. But, they can't sleep. They're on their phone. So I put this article in here of knowing the best days and times to post for each platform. So you guys will have access to that. And again, it's different for every single business. So this is just what their study had shown. And so, but it is important, like, Tuesdays are really good. Fridays sometimes aren't the best, but if your industry may be completely different. So that's why it's important to try out different days and times and then monitor what's working. And there's a few different scheduling tools that we use. Sprout Social is a paid, I think it's $99 a month, but you can post to all social media platforms, including Instagram. And the reporting on that is really good because it will tell you exactly how many new likes you've gotten on each platform, what, gives you it compiles all the insights from every platform you're using, and it provides a weekly and a monthly report, which is really cool to see. Buffer is a free tool up to 3 platforms. They do not schedule directly to Instagram, but it will give you a push notification on your phone. Hootsuite is probably my favorite. It's very simple to use. It's free up to 3 platforms, and it schedules directly to Instagram. So we use Hootsuite actually for our business, and you can set up different streams on like different columns. So we have one for Instagram that says my feed and scheduled, and we go in there every week and schedule our posts for the following week. And so, and it posts directly onto there. So I love the simplicity of Hootsuite. CoSchedule is really ties in that the scheduling tool and your content calendar together. And then later, they schedule to, I think, Pinterest, Facebook, and Instagram. But again, it's just a push notification, meaning you'll get a notification on your phone under your Instagram app saying that, oh, we need to, you have a post to put up, and then you can go in there and do that. And Trello is just a good organizing tool if you need something visual. So these are just some of the tools that we have used and are using for either ourselves or our clients, but really just making sure that you find a tool that works that you like. So I would go to all of the websites. Again, I'm a very visual person. So if something looks very complex and I don't like it, I'm like, nope, I'm not sure about that. So figuring out what you like and what you're going to use.
Yeah.
So,
and Jim, you asked a question about if Facebook still has insights about which day of week and what time of day that the posts are getting more engagement. And yes, it still does have that. Sprout Social does a good job pulling that information as well if you are utilizing a scheduling tool. But Facebook Insights does a phenomenal job if you are getting people, engaging on your posts to really visualize who's interacting with what and what time.
Yep, exactly. Okay, so now we have figured out how we're going to organize this content. And now we really want to look at how can we reach more people. So Caitlin, let's dive into a little bit about the organic reach and going into some of those Facebook ads.
Absolutely. So we are skipping over some topics here, absolutely, just for the sake of time. Amber and I could be talking for hours about how to best manage your social media content and what topics to talk about, but we wanted to make sure to talk about ads. And the reason is because of the quote unquote reach apocalypse. So basically, over time, Facebook's organic reach has declined sort of as their share price has increased. This means that as Facebook shares are getting more and more expensive, the amount of people that you can reach organically without paying for ads is going down and down. We often are seeing businesses who are not paying for ads to have a 1% reach of the people who have liked their page. So if you have 100 people who have liked your page, only one person's actually seeing any given post that you're putting out there. So it's terrible to say this, but you have to pay Facebook in order to get people to see your posts. So we want to talk a little bit about the different types of ads that there are and how to choose what ads to run for your business. So when we talk about sponsored advertising, we're really talking about Facebook and Google. Those are the two main networks that we utilize for our clients for ads. And ads really help to solve two main goals, and there are three main types of ads kind of as we're thinking about them. So the two goals, the first is to reach prospects immediately when they search for your product or service. So for example, for Amber and myself, we have ads running for social media help, for example. And so if somebody is searching for that on Google, our ads show up. We have these ads for our clients as well, and those are typically on Google. Then there are ads that increase the overall ROI through branding and name recognition. This is mostly through the display network on Google or Facebook ads, some Facebook ads. So when we look at the ads, there's the Facebook ads for brand awareness and reach. So this is to boost your posts, get people actually seeing what you're putting out there, and then also to just kind of have ads running for your target market. Then there are the ads that are set up for remarketing. So these are people who have been to your website already and you want to make sure that they see your business again. And so these are remarketing to them. Wayfair.com, for example, if you ever go there and look at a lamp, that lamp is then going to follow you around the internet. It's going to show up on your Instagram, on your Facebook, on news websites that you're visiting. It will always be following you for the next 30 days.
Until you buy it.
Until you buy it, yeah. So you have the opportunity to set up ads just like that on Facebook and on Google. And on Facebook, it uses something called the Pixel. Way too in-depth for this webinar, but it is something we can help you with. Then there is just making sure that people who need your services are finding it. So this is where we're running ads on Facebook that are specifically tied to kind of a call to action, and then on Google, as I mentioned earlier, when someone's searching for a product or service, having your business appear. So when you're creating the ads, there are different components to really consider. One's the media that you use in the ad. So these are the images, the videos, and the actual ad text. Then it's the audiences, so who's actually seeing the ad. And Facebook has, I should put the link on here, but we'll make sure Liz gets the link so that, or in our final PDF, we'll make sure that it's on here. Facebook has a great audience insight tool where you can actually put together different audiences and see how many people your ad would reach based on that audience. And then the offer, what is being promoted. And so for these, we have some questions that we recommend everybody ask. And so just like with creating your social media strategy, the first one is, what are your goals of the campaign? Are you trying to get more engagement, or are you trying to get leads for your business? Are you trying to get email sign up? Really figure out what those goals are, because different types of ads are going to be better suited for one goal versus another. Then it's, what do you wish to promote? So you could be promoting an ebook, a video series, a webinar, an in-person event, maybe in a few months or next year. or you could promote a business service. So this could be a consultation or a % discount on one of your services or products. It's always okay to think outside of the box with this. The next question, who are you targeting? So this ties into the audience and back into that first slide. Oh, Amber, go back one. The first slide of your target market. So making sure that you have a niche target market, so that individual that you're thinking of, so that you can have the audience and the language aligned together. So what are their biggest concerns and what struggles can the offer then solve? And then the next thing is making sure that you're, that you have a paid service or a paid product that can follow up as a promotion after they've signed up for that free consultation, let's say, or the free ebook. Okay, next one. So our typical flow for the leads is they're shown an ad because of an intent or an interest. They click on the ad and they go to a landing page. From here, they complete a form that you collect their name, email address, phone number if you're going to be following up via phone. And then immediately they're sent an email with whatever that offer is. And so this flow is something that you can run directly from social media, again, either in your posts or as those ads. And we wanted to make sure that you saw this funnel so that you can see kind of every step of the way, the systems that you need to have in place beyond just posting to social media. So you need the landing page, which could be just a page on your website. You need the form, you need the free offer, and then that follow-up. And a lot of times, even through MailChimp, for example, you can just have that all automated. Okay, and then this is a little complex, but you'll be getting this PDF, so you can refer back to it. But this kind of dives into the types of ads for based on who that audience is. So for growing a new audience, you'll be running things like a like campaign on Facebook to grow those likes, as well as boosted posts. So this is when you put something up on social media, like a video that you've done, and then you click that boost post link. And then you can also grow your audience through targeting based on interests on Facebook, or creating a lookalike audience to an email list that you might already have. And your goal with this new audience is really to build that brand trust and recognition. And so you can add, or the types of ads that you can run here beyond just the like campaign and boosted posts are also the conversion ads or leads ads as well. To an existing audience, your goal is to really stay top of mind and continue to grow your sales and repeat sales. So again, here, boosted posts work well, and you can just target the people who like your page already or your email list. You can also run conversion ads too through Facebook, and again, that utilizes the Facebook pixel to make sure that people are actually converting. And then there's folks who have an immediate need. So for the immediate need, typically we do recommend utilizing AdWords or retargeting campaigns. So these are people who search for specific keywords or who have been to specific pages on your website. And the goal is to reach people when they are specifically looking for your product or service. So the types of ads here, you can just do text ads on Google or use Google Smart Campaign, as well as the conversion tracking ads on Facebook. So a lot goes into the ads, but you do have to run them. So start off just by putting together really ideas for who your audience is and who you want to target, and then figure out if there's some sort of promotion you can run. But if you want to make sure that you are getting engagement on your social media posts, you do have to put, you know, $5 or $10 behind those posts that you're putting up, especially if it's a post about your business and about your products. If it's curated content from somebody else, don't boost that post, just boost the ones that are specifically about you and your business. Amber, what am I, on earth am I missing with those ads?
No, so we've thrown a lot of information at you guys, and I know that it can be a little overwhelming. And your whole social media strategy it's gotten a little bit more complicated than, like Caitlin said, just posting. And so with Facebook, their promises, they're always going to be free. And that is true. To have a Facebook page or a group is going to be free, but in order for it to reach the right people and for it to grow, that's where the ads and the boosted posts come into it, and having the strategy behind it. We have a lot of clients that will just throw $5 at a boosted post, but it's not going to the right people. So again, going back to step one of identifying your target market and then building that audience is so important, and it does take time, but we promise you it will pay off if you take the time to do it. So now we're into our Q&A. Are there any questions that you guys have that we can answer? And Caitlin, you have the chats up. I can't see the chat, so let me know.
Oh, okay.
Are there any questions that anyone has off the top of their mind right now?
Two.
Okay.
So my first one is I don't know, I just don't want all my business contacts on my personal Facebook page. And I've not been able to figure out how to push people to my company Facebook page without having them associated with my personal world. And I really don't want that.
So that's a great question. And this is an obstacle we're always overcoming. So with your Facebook, you can create just a Facebook page. The downside to that is you're not going to be able to do as much as you want with the ads and being able to grow your audience. So when you have a Facebook account, your username and password is to your personal account, and then you have your business page. One of the best ways is to invite your people. If you network, they're always going to add you as a friend. Invite those people to like your business page. But that's where the boosted posts or the like campaigns come in with Facebook, because you can target those people outside of your friends and family that are on your personal side. So the only thing that on your business page that where you see like invite to like the page, that's where you're kind of overlapping on the personal side, but the public does not see that. Only you see that because you're the admin of your personal and business. But if you have an email list, sending out monthly emails with then inviting them to like your business page, boosting the post, having that like campaign, even if you spend $50 a month, but you create that like campaign to reach your target audience outside of your friends and family on your personal side.
Okay, and that was actually ties right into my second question, which is you had mentioned if I had an existing like email list or contact list that we could use those to, again, bring back to social media. But it's my understanding based on what you said is there's no way to like internally from LinkedIn or Facebook, if you don't already have them there, then you would have to send an email campaign to get them to like that page and bring them to you. It's not something you can do internal in either one of the softwares.
Correct.
Okay.
The closest is on Facebook. You can upload that email list depending on the size. I forget the minimum size off the top of my head right now. Yeah, so you can create a new audience from the Facebook Business Manager through an uploaded email list, and it has to have, I believe it's 3 identifying factors. So first name, last name, email address, and town or zip code or phone number. And so that will allow Facebook to kind of link it up. Sometimes just the email address and first name is enough, but we recommend at least three factors, and then you can run a like campaign specifically to that audience, and then you can also create in the future a lookalike audience to get more people like the folks who are already on your email list.
Okay, now does Google have anything that ties into that? Because we haven't started playing with Google, but everybody's recommending it.
So in terms of Google AdWords, there is not a way to target a specific email list. However, there are ways to, through like the Google Tag Manager and then also Google Analytics just in general, you can remarket to people who have been to your website. So if they've been to your website, then you can make sure that they're seeing an ad from you.
Okay, thank you.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Okay. Anyone else have questions? Nobody?
Oh, Joy wrote, is it a good idea to follow the leader when it comes to posting about socially relevant issues? My business partner and I have different views on this. I've seen businesses being accused of being insensitive after making posts about social issues. Amber and I have had long discussions about this. And so really it goes back to really knowing and understanding your values. With Blackout Tuesday, for example, kind of leading up to that, there were some businesses that I thought put together fantastic posts, and then I read through the comments, and you're absolutely right. Other people were saying that they were being insensitive, questioning how many people of color they had hired and things like that. And so by posting about socially relevant topics, you are opening yourself up to get that negative or positive feedback. And so it's really just truly understanding what your values are, and if it's something that you want to take an outward stance about, or potentially putting up a quote that's about a similar topic or is in sort of the same vein. Amber, what did you see a lot of our clients doing, recently?
Yeah, so I think the biggest thing was going back to what is your brand identity. So a lot of our clients that did choose to put a post up, they were already talking about social matters before. They had already were sharing articles. It was a part of their brand strategy. They were already showing, making sure that they had diversity in the photos that they put up, that they were highlighting staff members. So to them, it wasn't anything out of the ordinary of what they were already talking about. So it was aligned with their core values and their brand already. Where I feel that, and again, this is just a personal opinion and what we saw for some brands that, let's say they're a product and all they're talking about is their products and products and products. And then they put out the Blackout Tuesday or whatever topic they had, that's where then there was issues. So again, I think that it really aligns with if you and your business partner aren't on the same page about it, I would suggest to not post, but figure out a way, like Caitlin said, is there another way where you can still talk about it? For example, Kim, who is our coach on our Monday morning calls, she's like, I need to talk about this. Her parents own, they run an orphanage in Africa. So this is a huge piece of her as a person. And it's like, she's like, I need to create a video. I need to do this. And we're like, that's a great idea. So I think just looking at how do these social matters align with your brand voice? Is it something that you should put on your personal Facebook and leave the business alone? Just have the business as regular, or is it a part of your brand identity that it makes sense for you to take a stance?
Great. And then Jim has another question. We would like to know if you can explain the difference between stories and posts and which you should use and what the result should be for each of them. So what's that goal of posting them?
For Instagram? Oh,
I would think for Instagram. It's similar for Facebook though too.
Okay. So stories are great. They're becoming more relevant on Facebook, but you're really going to see that return on Instagram. So stories are only up for 24 hours. Again, having that strategy. So with the stories, I love when people show that behind the scenes, kind of the VIP access, so to speak. And if you, on the Instagram stories, if you are doing a story, you can highlight that story. So if you look at our Social Speak Network Instagram, and we do as we say, not as we do. We haven't done stories for a little while, but you can highlight your stories. So when you go to an Instagram account and you'll see the circles underneath, like above their post, that's where you can highlight them. So if you were to have like tip Tuesday, and every Tuesday you do a quick Instagram story, it's only going to stay in that story for 24 hours, but then you can highlight it and have a little area that's just tip Tuesday. You can have services, you can have behind the scenes. So those are things that are just going to, again, be up there for a short period of time. But when people go to Facebook and Instagram, that's usually what they see first is those stories. And then the posts are more for, you know, sharing those blog posts, the national hashtag days, and really more of the, I don't want to say necessarily valuable content, but the things that people may want to go back and say, oh, wait, what did the guys say about this? What did they do? So that's where, you know, your newsfeed posts and the stories come into play. Does that answer your question? Okay. Awesome. Yeah. And Instagram stories, I mean, the more you use them and the more you use all the gadgets that they have, the GIFs, the location, the hashtags, the different, you know, slides, you can have multiple slides or stories on one thing for 24 hours. And so utilizing all of those bells and whistles, that helps with your Instagram algorithm. So you'll start showing up more and then, you know, being consistent. So if you're doing an Instagram story every day, you can share that to your Facebook stories as well, and then highlight those on Instagram. Awesome. Okay. What other questions do we have? Comments, concerns?
And we do want to offer everybody a complimentary consultation as well. So we have either do what Des did, and we'll follow up with her via email, or you can just hop over to our website, socialspeaknetwork.com, and there's a button for free consultation. So we'd love to chat with each and every one of you if you do have questions about your own social media or running ads.
Yep.
Nice. Ladies, thank you guys. Do you guys think, was it helpful? Yes, no, yes, like all of the yeses?
Yeah, it was very helpful.
Oh, Tanya asked is tweeting out. So Amber and I haven't used Twitter too much for our clients. Just we found more success with other networks, but businesses that really dive into using Twitter and are on there multiple times per day do see success with it.
Nice. Okay, so what I'm going to do is Caitlin and Amber will give me the finished compiled, adding that link on the slide. I'll be sure that I put this up on my Facebook page. If you want to email me for it, I'm happy to give it to you guys. And